Welcome back, friends. Let's do a recap of what we did last time. I believe when I left you, we had gone over getting all the crafting to T3. And what we're going to do today is go through getting all the weapons up to Tier 4. So we're going to be crafting all the weapons. If you recall, this is the crafting side of the tree. We did all the mage tower crafting. That'll get us all the staves and cloth armor. And did all the hunters. That'll get us all the hunter stuff. That's bows, daggers, quarterstaves, and the leather armor. And we also did the warrior's forge crafting. That'll get us all the plate mail armor and all the soldier weapons. That's swords, hammers, maces, shields, things like that. So we're going to go through that and get all those up, and we're going to try out all the weapons and see generally what those do to help you select what kind of build you're gonna use. That will really depend on your playstyle. Some guys like long range. That's me. I like to be a bit more standoffish. Some guys like to heal. Some are up in your face melee. So all those weapon types and play styles are available in Albion, so you can tailor your build to your preferred playstyle. I did notice something though. It's been a while since I. This is just a side note. It's been a while since I made this account, and I went to my premium ran out. Okay, so I went to get the premium, and there's nothing here for the silver cost. I thought, well, all right, I've got 2,000 silver, or sorry, 2,000 gold. So I can just buy a little bit of gold, and that's fine. But when you go to the gold market, I noticed this notice right here. You cannot use the gold market yet. Unlock Journeyman Adventurer node on the Destiny board to be able to use it. So apparently, you can't use the gold market unless you've unlocked Journeyman Adventurer. I didn't know that. So I'm going to take my bow and go do that real quick and get my premium back up, and then we'll continue from there. Oh, there we go. That's better. Okay, so I got my 30-day premium up there. Gold purchase. All right, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually make all these weapons. Okay, so we can use them all. We did that last time. So I'll not bore you with the details of what I'm doing or actually going out to gathering like I did in the last one, so you don't spend an hour and 47 minutes with me gathering. But I need to get a list together, and what I've done is put a list together of the resources that I'm going to need. Okay, so let me go show you this real quick. So what we're going to do is go through and craft all these. So if you look at the fire staff, go down the bottom, it shows you need 16 planks and 8 bars. And if you recall, let me get over here. Let me find one of the refiners. Yeah. Let's check the smelter. Okay. So if we look at the smelter, to get a bronze bar, T3 bar, you'll need 2 tin ore and 1 copper bar. And to get a copper bar, you need 1 copper ore. So in essence, we need 1 T2 and 2 T3s to make 1 T3 bar. And in higher tiers, the numbers go up, but you'll always need to start with the T2 item to get as far up as you need. So we're going to go to T3. So we need twice as many T3 raw as we do T2 raw. So we need 64 cloth, 184 bars, 76 leather, and 180 planks. Which means we'll need 64, and I'll not go through this with all of them just so you get the idea. We'll need 64 T2 fiber, which is cotton, and we'll need, quick math, 128 T3 fiber, which is flax. So I am going to get me some better tools. I need a T2 skinning knife, T2 sickle, Those are pretty cheap on the auction house over here, so I'm going to go get those and get to work, and I will save you the pain of watching me gather all this much. But if something comes up along the way, I'll record that too. So we got our gathering done. Let me show you what I got over here. Okay, so we needed, what did I say? We need 64 cloth. So I got a little extra. And we needed 64 T2 and what, 128 T3. So I got that. And on down the list, I got 184 bars we need. I got 190 and then 400 T3. We needed 84 leather. I got 84 there. And 168 is what we needed. I got 180. And we needed 180 plank. I got 196. And plenty of those. Okay. So, let's see how good my math is. And we'll go get this stuff refined. So, if I try to load all this up at the same time, I'm going to be overweight. So, I'll just do a little piece at a time. I think we've gone over refining before. Ooh, can't do that. Put me overweight. Look at that. So we've gone over refining before, so let me just go get this refined. Now, if you just noticed, we unlocked Adept Ore Smelter. Let me look, I think that was just the learning point. Yeah, I believe it was. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before. As you're refining what you're gathering, what it tends to turn out is your refining will keep up with your gathering in general. So you don't tend to want to use learning points in your gathering. See, right now I could use 3 learning points and get up to Adept T4 ore smelting, but I don't need to because I can't gather it yet, so it doesn't matter. And in general, that stays true. Okay, so the whole point of this was to make all of the T3 weapons and armor. So let's see how good my math is. And it put us overweight just a little bit, but that's fine. So we'll start over here at the Warrior's Forge, which will be all the melee weapons, mostly melee weapons, and plate armor. So let's see how good my math is. And we'll make one of each of these. Okay, there's a Warrior's Forge. Got one of each of those. Go over here to the Mage Tower. And next is the Hunter's Lodge. Alright, so it looks like I can do math. And we have a few units left over, and that's fine. So let's go put all this stuff up and we'll get to cracking. Okay, So let's go through and talk about what we got here. Okay, this everything we got here is the makings generally of every build out there. Okay, so you got this row is the melee. These are the ones that the warriors forge. Crossbow is arranged, but the rest of them are up close melee. Your magic staves are at the mage tower. That's these guys right here: frost staff, arcane, holy staff, fire staff. And these guys are the usually ranged, but the warriors forge ones. Dagger and spear are not ranged. Quarterstaff's not ranged, so I guess they're not very ranged. Anyway, these are the offhands. The offhands being the ones that will go over in the secondary slot over here, and I'll show you about that here in just a second. This is the warriors forge one. This is the mage tower one, and this is the hunter's lodge, mage tower, warriors forge is the shield. Okay. And then the weapons, or the armors. This is the... So as it turns out, when I first recorded this, I didn't actually know what I was talking about. So I had to go ask some questions and clarify about the different armor types. So I took snapshots of equal item power items for Tier 3 and put all their stats up side by side. And if you go down the list, you can see the advantages and disadvantages of both. The armor, let's start at the top. The armor is your resistance to physical damage. That doesn't include things like fireballs and smite, magical things like that. It does include hits from weapons. Okay, so that's your resistance to those. The plate armor has higher resistance than leather, which has higher resistance than the cloth. Same thing with magical resistance. You have higher resistance with the plate armors than with leather, and leather than with cloth. And then when you go down the list more, max hit points stays the same between the different armors. For Tier 3 anyway, you get to Tier 4, it gets a little more complicated, but it generally holds true. Plate, leather, and cloth will all add the same number of hit points, but your resistances will be different. Max energy looks like stays the same among the different types. CC resistance, however, is better for plate. That means things that try to slow you down, things that try to stun you, won't last as long with plate as they will with leather and further with cloth. Magical attack bonus, physical attack bonus, ability bonuses, those four things are grouped together. You get a lower bonus for attacks and magical effects with plate than you do with leather, and then further with cloth. Cloth will give you the highest bonuses to those, so you'll hit harder. And let's see, going on the list further, energy regen is the same among them. Energy regen bonus is different. You get higher energy regen bonus with cloth. You get a hit point regen with plate and leather that you don't get with cloth, which means when you're out of combat, your hit points will regenerate faster. If you have plate, your hit points will regen pretty quick. With leather, it's not quite as quick, and with cloth, it can take a bit. So you'll have to use you'll either need more time between combat to regenerate your HP, or you'll have to use things like healing stabs or rely on friends to heal you. CC duration, if you're using things that generate CC, let's see, like quarterstabs, or I believe the hammer has anything that does a stun or slow will last longer if you're using plate armor than with leather, and with cloth you get no bonus for that. You get a healing cast bonus on, well, you get healing cast bonus on all of them, but it's less on the plate than with leather than with cloth. So basically, your cloth is your glass cannon, your plate is your tank, and leather is kind of a mix between the two. So Sorry about that. Didn't know what was going on there when I first did this, but I hope that clears it up. Attack bonus. More glass cannon-like with the cloth. And the chest is what matters the most for those things. The head and feet tend to be just for the abilities. So you don't see any major bonuses for the cloth, for the head or the foot. Okay? There's some hit point added to it, but there's no, as I click through them, see, look, there's no other bonuses. You're going to get your bonuses from your chest piece. So you need to select your chest piece based on what you're going to do. Now as we look at the weapons, you want to look up here. It says main hand, slot main hand. If you go to some of the others, they're two-handed. Like the crossbow is two-handed. So when you equip a crossbow, it'll use both hand slots. See, like the bow does. The bow uses a left and a right both. But if you wanted to use a sword, you could use a sword and something else, one of these. Typically it'd be a shield with a sword, of course. Same thing with the staves. I don't think any of the T3 staves... All the T3 staves are main hand. There's a two-handed bow. Quarterstaff is two-handed. Daggers are one-handed. This will change as you go up to tier 4. If we look at the offhands, the torch will give an attack speed bonus and a cooldown modifier. The Tome of Spells will give a cast time modifier, so you'll cast faster. And the shield will give CC resistance. That is the amount of time that crowd control, things that slow you down, things that stop you, how long those things last. You'll have a resistance to that, so they won't last as long. And you'll have a defense bonus versus players and mobs. You also have greater threat, which is important if you're in a group going against mobs. The threat generation means it will attack you. The mobs will attack you preferentially over someone else who doesn't have as much threat. So let's take some of these and see what we can do. I want to just trash our tier 2 stuff. And let's start with the melee weapons. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the plate for all the melee weapons. And I'm going to use leather for all the Hunter's Lodge stuff. And the cloth for all the Mage Tower items. That won't hold true later. I mean, you can mix them up. It doesn't matter. You can wear plate with a fire staff if you want. You just got to figure out, what your bonuses are and how you want to play with it. So there are abilities on here. On the head, you can have energy regain or emergency heal. That's handy. So we're going to go with the energy regain and toughness to reduce our damage. On the head, we're going to do the same thing on the chest and use mend wounds so we can heal ourselves up between engagements. But there's also the option of Fury. What it reads is, once unleashed, you get a 10% damage bonus and 10% crowd control duration bonus every time you take damage. This is handy for PvP from what I hear. I don't use it like that. But there's that option. And these options expand once you get in higher levels as well. Alright, so let's go play with the sword. Sword has Heroic Strike and Heroic Cleave. Heroic Cleave does damage to multiple targets around you. Heroic Strike just does to one, and it will stack up. It applies a heroic charge to you, and I'll show you what that does here in just a minute when we go to use it. Mighty Blow uses those charges, so you'll hit things, charge it up, and then use the Mighty Blow to do more damage. What it says is it interrupts enemy spell casting and deals physical damage to an enemy. Damage scales depending on the number of heroic charges active on you. All charges will be consumed on hit. Additionally, your resistances are increased by 91 for 3 seconds. Okay? And then 0 charges, it goes through 0 charges, 1 charge, 2 charge, 3 charge. Your damage increases by how many charges you have on it. And then we'll select Deep Cuts. For every 4 normal attacks, you inflict a bleeding on the enemy, deals additional 34 per second. A lot of these weapons have that ability. Or you can use Weakening. Every normal attack reduces the target's damage and heal power. Okay, so we'll go with Deep Cuts. And we'll also use the shield. And what this will do, as we go out there, what you'll notice, I guess I can put my gathering things away. Okay. I'm sorry, what you'll notice is we currently have equipped plate head, plate chest, plate foot, broadsword, and shield. So as we're killing things, we've already got that one. As we're killing things, fame will go into these. Plate boots fighter, it says, kill creatures T3+, wearing novice soldier boots or better. So we have the boots, we have T3 boots, which is better than novice. So that fame will go in here. It will also go into the plate armor, since we're wearing plate armor. It'll also go into plate helm, since we're wearing plate helm. And it will go into sword fighter, because we're wearing a broadsword. And it will go into shield, since we're wearing a shield. And I'll show you that when we go and kill our first thing. Ah, there's a guy. Got ran over him. Okay. Oh, I didn't set a boot. Didn't set a boot ability. Look at that. We're going to turn on Wanderlust. That'll give us the longest term, longest range run boost. And we'll turn on Toughness so we take less damage. Okay, so what I'll do with this guy is we got these abilities. We can interrupt, so if he does any spell casting, we can interrupt that. And then otherwise, we're just going to build up our heroic strikes and then whack him with a mighty blow. So, let's get him out here. So, 1, 2, 3, boom. Did you see that? And we got combat. We got 90 fame for that. So if we go to our destiny board, you'll see if you go up here, we got 90 fame in plate boots fighter. I think we already had some there. We got 144 there. We got 90 there. I had to see if something was coming after me. And we got 144 there. Remember at the startup, we got some fame when we had the beginner's broadsword, so that was already in there. Shield, same thing. All right, let's go find something else. And maybe you can see that that stack up better. Here we go. 1, 2 stacks. Oh, get out of the way. 3, and then boom, with the cleave. Or the mighty blow. I'll show you the interrupt with one that does it. See, that guy didn't interrupt, or didn't cast anything. Here we go, this guy should. Okay. 2. Okay. And we just interrupted. So hit the W and interrupt. so it stops the spell casting. I'll show you again on this guy up here. We're gonna have to get him away from this rock monster. Okay, I'll pull him up here. See, he's shooting at us. See? W, interrupt. Alright? That's how you interrupt. Alright, so that's basic swords. It's pretty simple. Just get up at them and start slashing. Okay, we'll drop our sword off and we'll get the battle axe. Okay, let's see what kind of abilities we have here. We only have one that's unlocked. Rending Swing is locked. You see a little lock icon right there? If you look on the Axe Fighter tree, okay, if you get to level 3, you'll get Rending Swing. Okay, but we don't have that yet. So we have Rending Strike, deals 124 physical damage to an enemy target, inflicts a 5-second bleed. The bleed does 11 physical damage per second. It reduces healing by 10%. Can stack up to 3 times. Deadly Chop. After a short time, releases a heavy attack. And there's Adrenaline Boost, increases your move speed and damage by 20%. Or you got Vampiric Strike, deals 281 physical damage to an enemy. If the enemy has Rending Strike on him, you will also get healed. Well, that's handy. I've never used this. So you take healing if you have strikes on him and use that. Huh, that looks like fun. Alright, let's go see what this guy does. Oh, I didn't set the metal one. Look at that. We're going to go for Deadly Chop. That seems to be more damage. And then you notice we changed our abilities, so we have to do a cooldown. So what does this do? Okay, stacks up to 3 times. And we get healing. Okay.
What do you got?
Stack it 3 times. Oh, take healing. Oh, that's cool. And I was going to do Deadly Chop, but he was already dead. Oh, it healed me back. Oh, that's nice. Deadly Chop right there, okay. Huh. And I believe this is the halberd line. Yeah, in T4, when you get to T4, you get access to a halberd, which is a very popular weapon right now. Alright, so let's go get something harder. See, I've taken some damage. I can stack up 1, 2, 3. Boom, healed up. Well, that's nice. Okay. So that's the axe. And again, you're not going to be at T3 for very long. You're going to get to tier 4, and then that's when the real abilities, the real variety starts coming out. Then you'll pick your weapon when you get to tier 4. There's more abilities, more availability to have enchanted. If you're not familiar with the enchanted materials yet, you can get 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, the uncommon, rare, and exceptional items that have greater item power, more hit points, more damage. So right now what we're doing is just getting a basic idea of what these weapons do, so you can kind of fit them and tailor them to your pick the one that's right for your playstyle. Alright, what's next? Mace. Mace is all about stunning things. Defensive Slam deals 140 physical damage while increase armor magic resistance to you and allies around you. Okay, so we'll pick that one. Threatening Strike will increase your threat generation. It has an interrupt as well and a silence, so it will stop enemy casting for a while, and I'll show you that. Okay, so what do we have again? Deals 140 physical damage, increases your armor and resistance. We have an interrupt and a silence. Okay.
Come here.
See those things circling around you? That means your resistances are increased. Also has an ability on it. The Stunning Strike. Every 5 normal attacks, your attack stuns the enemy. That also acts as an interrupt. So watch this. Okay. I had 3 stacked up, 4, 5. He's stunned. Did you see that little thing floating around his head? Now, see this other guy? He's a spellcaster, right? So I'm going to hit E. Select him. Now he can't. You see that purple thing? He can't cast. Now he can. See, he's healing, so I just interrupted him. I used a W and interrupted. So you got to be careful with maces. They don't do a lot of damage. They do a lot of things. They don't do a lot of damage. Okay, so this guy's an archer. We'll go over here. We'll silence him. Switch back to this guy. That silence goes off. See, he may have to try to cast here in a minute. He's an archer. Guess not. Alright. Well, then die. If you're not going to cast, you can die. That interrupt works just like it did on the swords. Okay, this guy's a casting archer. Thought he was anyway. I guess I keep stunning him. That guy's a caster. See how he's healing that dude? He's got that beam on him. It's healing him. So we need to go over here and either interrupt him, like we just did, or silence him. So he can't do that. Alright, so that is the mace. Maces are about silencing. There's some stunning ability some of the T4s have. The T4 and up. Tell you what I'm going to do is start carrying more of the weapons with us so we don't have to keep running back and forth. With these mobs out here, I don't have much chance of dying. So. Okay, so we can leave the mace here. We'll take the crossbow and hammer. I'll equip the crossbow. I did it like that because I knew it was going to drop the shield down. This is a two-handed, so you can't use a shield with it. Okay, the crossbow has auto fire. Channeled spell dealing 60 damage for 8 hits. Have a knockback shot, deals 77 physical damage, knocks the target back. Sunder shot, repeated attack doing 170 physical damage, reducing the target's armor and magic resist for 4 seconds. The more health the target has, the more stacks of resistance reduction are applied, between 1 and 10. Okay. Snipe shot deals 708 physical damage. Wow. So let's... Okay, knockback, that's pretty clear. Let's go see what that does. Alright. We got auto fire for 8 hits. Alright. Alright. So just rapid succession there. Okay. And Sunder shot. More so, okay, so it reduces... Alright, so it reduces their... Alright. Reduces their armor and magic resist. So I bet you want to do that first. Reduce that, and then start hitting them. See how that does more damage to them? Alright, there we go. Alright, I got this. And then the E is a snipe shot. Takes a long time to charge up, it looks like, but does a lot of damage. Alright. Alright, I can do this. Put a W on him, alright. Hey, no wonder people like crossbows. Alright, that's kind of cool. So do a W, which reduces armor. Do the auto fire, take him down. Aha! Alright. The snipe shot takes a long time to charge up, but look at that. One shot. Alright, very nice. Okay. Hammer. Let's see. Bash knee. This just slows the target. Is what bash knee does. Threatening strike gives more threat. Okay, heavy cleave. Heavy attack deals 498 damage to enemies in front of you, so that will be directed. Earth shatter shatters the earth, dealing 102 damage to all enemies in 5.5 meter radius, and stuns them for 2 seconds. So we can slow them and stun them. Alrighty. So I hit him. See, it slowed him down, so he can't chase us as well. And that's the Q. Alright. The heavy cleave is the W. That... Yeah, that's the directed one. Alright, so what that does is, depending on how you have this set up, how you have your directional set up, see it has this arrow. I'm holding down W, and when I let go, that's when it does it. Let me show you that. That's set up. Let's see, where is that? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's on mouse control. Quick cast on button release. You can also set it to normal. Spell cast, quick cast on button press. Okay, so let me show you what that is. I'll keep mine set on quick cast on button release. So what I do on that cleave is hold it down. I hold the W down so I can position it, and then when I let go, that's when it casts. Quick cast on button press, however, we'll do this. Let's go up here. So as soon as I hit W, wherever my cursor is pointing, that's where it goes. Okay? So if we go back over here and go to normal cast, what that does is I'm right here, and I press W. Well, let's let that cooldown finish. Okay, cooldown's done. So I hit W. Now, I let go of W. Now I have to click right there for it to go off. Okay? Let me go set that back. Click on release. That's what I keep it on. Earth Shatter. We didn't do that one. That's an AoE. So we'll go over here. And Earth Shatter does damage to everybody. Also stuns them. Alright. So that is the Warrior Forge line. Alright, let's put our weapons back here. And we'll switch out to leather. Okay, leather also has an energy regain. Has a howl that will slow enemies down. Damage and heal power increased by 1.5%. On balanced mind, we'll take that. You can also go with increased attack speed. There's a Inferno Shield that'll reflect damage back to an attacker if you use that. Balanced mind, we'll take that. And Mercenary Shoes, we have an invisibility, or a Refreshing Sprint, which is a run and a cooldown reduction. So we'll take those, and we'll take our torch with us. And we'll also take all of our Hunter's Lodge weapons with us. Well, let's go and set one up. The bow, you know what that does. We've already gone over that. We've been using that. Quarterstaff. I'll take that's a two-handed weapon. Okay, Concussive Blow. That's just damage. The effect stacks up to be used on the... Oh, it doesn't use on anything else. The effect stacks up. The way it reads is you deal 152 damage to the target. Slow him slightly for a few seconds. The effect stacks up. After collecting the third charge, you'll stun the target while consuming all charges. Okay. We also have an Empowered Slam, which is a 3-meter AoE damage, or a stun run. You can run at an attacker and stun them. Quarterstaff. The Quarterstaff line is a popular ganking weapon for all the stuns that it has. especially the double-bladed staff when you hit tier 4. Alright, so let's go play with the quarterstaff. We'll do the empowered... No, let's do the stun run first. I'll show you that one. What it does, it makes you 30% faster for 5 seconds, and when you get to them, it'll stun them. Okay, so we hit W and attack, run at them. See, it stuns it. And then we use a concussive blow. Concussive blow also has a stun. Remember, it stacks up 3 times. So let's go find something we can stun. One, two, well. See? And if we use the frost shield, see, as he damages me, he's taking damage. See? It wasn't much, but he takes a little bit of damage. I'll let that cooldown get finished. I'll show you that again. But before that, the separator directly attacks a single enemy who gets rooted. That means they can't move. For 3.75 seconds, takes 292 damage. Any other enemies are knocked back by 5 meters. Okay, so here's what we do. We'll get a couple guys together. Okay. See? Well, it killed him, but it would root that guy. So it would root him, then you could go after the other one. Or the other way around. Okay, so let's put that Inferno shield back up, and I'll show you that. Okay, so without attacking him... See how they're taking a little bit of damage? I mean, they're not doing a whole lot of damage, so... See, it rooted that guy. See that? Okay, while that's healing back up, the Empowered Slam is just raw damage in 3 meters. I'll show you that once my cooldowns are done. We'll stack up a few of these guys. And then W. See how it does damage to all of them? There you go. Alright, so that's the quarterstaff. Daggers, one of my favorites. Daggers has a dash. Okay, there's Sunder Armor, which reduces their resistances. Okay, there's a poison coating. Reduces your health a little bit, but it does higher damage to stacks up a damage over time. So let's see what that does. So, E. Well, it didn't have much time to do anything, did it? Let's find something a little stronger. This guy over here. That dash is handy. Hit W. Boom. Just dash right over. The double-bladed, not double-bladed, the Bloodletter and the T4 and up. It's a artifact weapon. Has 2 dashes on it. Okay, so let's grab these guys. Alright, and we'll do the poison coating. See, now this is one where we might want to get away. We may have pulled too much, And that's where that dash will come in handy. Put up our shield. Do that poison again. See how his damage is going down quicker? And then if we needed to get away, boom, we could just dash away. Another handy thing we're not going over is on the armor. There's this invisibility on the F. So if we just get too much and we start taking too much damage, and we need to de-aggro, which means we need to release the aggression, we can just go invisible, and they'll de-aggress. I mean, you need to get away after you do that, and your speed's increased. But it's a good method to get away. Okay, so that's daggers. We've done daggers, quarterstaff, bow. We've done nature staff. Nature staff's a healing staff mostly. It does have one attack. It's poison thorns. It's damage over time. That's what we'll have to use for damage. It's slow, but it is effective once you get it leveled up some more. The rejuvenation, it's a healing over time that stacks. You can get 3 stacks on you or someone else, and it will heal over time. The way it reads is heals allies for 11 per second for 8 seconds. The effect can be stacked up to 3 times. And this is the kicker. If it's reapplied on maximum stacks, all stacks are consumed and you restore 13 energy. So basically, you stack it 3 times. If you hit it again, you got to start over. Circle of Life is heals up to 5 allies in 11 meter radius around the caster. And it depends on how many rejuvenation stacks they have on them. So nature staffs get pretty complicated on keeping stacks on people, keeping counters on people, and then doing things. It's all about timing. Let me show you what I do for all the healing staffs, because you want to be able to cast on yourself without having to click on yourself. So if we go to game settings and key bindings, there's a section on casting. Okay. Main hand spell slot 1 is Q. You can remap any of these. Main hand spell slot 1 cast on myself. What I do is I keep my hand on the keyboard. I can use Q, W, and E. But I also remap 1, 2, and 3 for cast on myself. So the Q, W, E, I can just go up a row and hit 1, 2, or 3 and cast on myself. So for the nature staff, I've got rejuvenation, which I can just hit 1. Okay, I've got 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stacks. And now it heals me. Let me show you what that looks like. Let me turn on the heal player. Here we go. Okay. So I hit 1 stack. I heal myself for 15. See? Every second heals for 15. And then it's done. But if I do 1, if I do 2 stacks, it does it for 29. If I do 3, there's 44. And if I do it again, see, it just cancels that and gives me energy. Regenerate 13 energy for yourself. Okay? See that? That's how that works. Circle of Life. See if I get 3 charges. Okay, if I get 3 charges, then hit that, then it'll heal me for more. So I go 1, 2, 3. Go away, rat. Then hit. Oh, I'll do that for everyone else. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I healed myself for 4 and 18. Okay. So I guess Circle of Life you can't really cast on yourself. That's just where you are. All right. And then Poison Thorns. You can stack 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, see, he'll take damage that whole time. See? All right. Hey, I got T4 Reaver. Nice. So Poison Thorns is going to be your main damage. And see, it will do damage to those around them too. See, I've got poison thorns on them and they're both taking damage. Alright, so that's nature stabs. Let me get out of the way here. See, I can use this invis right here. There we go. Gosh, where am I? See, while I'm running away, I can cast that too. I can cast that rejuvenation. You can do that while you're running. You can really screw with people with a nature staff. See, healed myself for 418. So we could do this all day. So I can go pick up this guy, pick up these guys, and just keep rejuvenation on myself. See, we can just take damage all day. If I happen to get too low, if I got 3 stacks, no problem. Boom. Alright. Alright, release those guys. Okay. Spears. Never run this before. Let's see what this does. Stab enemies in front of you. Any enemy hit will suffer 146 damage, be slowed by 10% for 3 seconds. Each enemy hit will apply a sprint spear charge to you, which increases your normal attack damage by 35% for 8 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Okay. So we'll hit him with that a few times and then auto attack, and then it'll do more damage. Spirit Spear increases your normal attack range by 30%. Normal attack damage by 35%, stacks up to 3 times. If you reapply the spell on maximum stacks, you lose an additional 6 energy. This effect also stacks up to 3 times. Okay, so don't stack it more than 3 times. Alright. Force to Spears repeatedly attacks enemies in a cone in front of you. Okay. Reckless Charge jumps to a ground target location, knocking up all enemies in a 3-meter radius for 0.6 seconds. Damage dealt depends on the number of spear. Okay, so that one stacks up too. Alright. Well, let's go see what we got here. Alright, so Spirit Spear, huh? Oh, I didn't actually set that. Hold on. Oh, we need Spirit Spear. Okay. For Spirit Spear charge. That one does Spirit Spear charge too. Okay. Okay, Spirit Spear. And then if I attack... I think it looked like it did more damage when I auto-attacked. Okay, so that auto-attack does... damage. Here's my Spirit Spear him. Oh, okay. That one. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright. I think I've died to that a few times. Okay, so Reckless Charge. Knocking up all enemies. What the hell does that mean? Oh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I know a lot of guys that run spears that just love them. Let's see why that. Alright, so there's spears. I think that's all of the hunter's line. Good night, baby. Here. Oh, super. Love you. Okay, so while I'm sitting here rocking the baby, I'll run to town and get the Mage Tower stuff. Alright, so now let's get all of our mage weapons. Scholar Cow has an energy regain and a force field, which is a knockback. And we'll do the extra damage. Concentration, cast speeds increase some. You can use that if you like. On the Scholar Robe, we have a frost shield, which slows enemies down. And mend wounds. All the chests have a mend wounds that you can use. I'll increase the damage with aggression. We can also increase our cast speed if cast speed is important. And energetic sprint or focused run increases your move speed by 60%. Crowd control resistance increased. But you can't attack or cast spells while it's doing it. You do regain energy though, so that's a you're just getting away. So we'll do energetic sprint, and all the boots have this increase your maximum load. I believe they're all the same. Increase it by 25 kilograms, 25. Yeah, so they're all the same. If you're out gathering, you want to use that one. For the most part. But the aggression increase your damage and heal power. Okay, so we will start with what I think is the highest damage weapon, which is the Fire Staff. It has a Firebolt, single target. Also has a Fire Bomb, which is a multi-target. It's a 4-meter radius AoE, small AoE damage. So we'll do Focused. And Ignite will do a damage over time. That's just a damage over time on a single target. And Pyroblast is a large single target damage. Okay, so we'll start with that one. And we'll put our Tome of Spells on. That gives us increased cast time. Or decreased cast time. Okay, so the Fire Staff is ranged weapon, so there's no getting up close with the Fire Staff. So you want to stay back. You want to stay behind your tank if you have one, or keep your distance and kite if you don't. Has a pretty nice auto attack. It's reasonably strong. Okay, you can also hit Ignite. See, that does damage over time. We'll go on here where it can... we'll do somebody else and I'll just ignite him. Okay, so it does some initial damage, but see it also does some damage over time. Okay, also got the Firebolt. Which does pretty good damage. There's also the Pyroblast. Takes a second to charge up. That does a lot of damage. But you see how we're taking more damage now than with the leather or plate? You don't... Cloth's a little squishy. See how Power Blast this guy. I'll show you. Does lots of damage. Takes a second to charge up though. And that's where that, was it the cast time modifier? Increase cast speed by 11%. That would speed that up. And see, I forgot to set the frost shield, so we'll set that. That reflects back some damage, but not much. So if we put the frost shield on, see how folks that attack us are slowed down? So they can't chase us as fast, right? Okay. And then force field knocks them away. Like that. I think Fire Staff is for DPS is my favorite. It's just all out damage. You really got to watch how much damage you take with this cloth armor, though. Okay. So that's Fire Staff. We'll save Holy for a little bit later. Let's look at the Frost Staff. Frost, same thing. You have an AoE, 3-meter AoE, single target. You also have a Frost Bomb. Place explosive Frost Bomb, which detonate shortly after impact, and 302 magical damage. And a 5-meter radius, and reducing the move speed. Okay? It's Frost. It's all about reducing move speed, freezing things, slowing things down. This one roots for 1 second. Attack enemies that come in front of you, dealing 264 damage, and rooting them for 1.43 seconds. Okay, so let's try that. So I'll do the E first on this one. Check out the root. Okay, see how it just freezes them for just a little bit? Okay. There's the Frost Bomb. Well, I didn't do anything. Nothing was there. See, that was a directed one too. Let's look at that again. See, when I hold the W down, I can put that anywhere. Okay, so if I put it right there, boom. Okay, it slows him down, right? Anything the Frost Staff does, most of it slows things down. See how that's an AoE? Alright. Okay, that's the Frost Staff. Does plenty of damage and slows things down. Alright, let's see. Curse Staff. I don't think I've used the Curse Staff but once or twice. Okay, Vile Curse. Places Vile Curse on target, dealing 30 damage every 2 seconds. Stacks up to 4 times. Okay. Armor Piercer. Demonic Beam shoots out in a straight line. All enemies hit take 139 damage. Have their armor and magic resist reduced. Okay, so that's a piercing. Cursed Beam deals 130 damage up to 5 times. That's channeled. Okay, I'll show you what that means here in a second. Death Curse. Places a Death Curse on the target. It will deal damage to the target after a few seconds, depending on the number of charges of the Vile Curse. Okay, so this is another stacking one. 1, 2, 3, that goes up to 4. Okay. So let's do that first. Let's go find one of these big guys. Okay, so according to this, stack it up 4 times. 1, 2. See, he does that block thing though. 3, 4, and then blow that up. Huh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Didn't actually set my W, did I? Okay, Piercer, we'll set that. So as I recall, seeing these in GVGs before. Okay, it just shoots out a line. Okay, so he's pierced. So I guess it reduced. I guess that's what that effect was. We'll see here. Let me try it again here in a minute. Okay, so shoot that out. Okay, his resistor. Yeah, his resistor taken down. Oh, okay. Take 139 damage, have armor, magic resist. Okay. Alright. Well, that's pretty cool. Hey, check that out. Alright. So I'll stack him up. 2, 3. Gosh, this thing, I can't even get him stacked up. It's done so much damage. Oh, will deal damage to target after a few seconds, depending on the number of charges. Okay, alright. We need to go find something bigger. Let's try this guy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so after a few seconds... God, how many seconds is it? Ah, there we go. Oh. It takes a second, alright. Okay, so what else we got? Cursed Beam does 130 damage, stacks up to 5 times. Okay. Alrighty. Cursed Beam, huh? Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. Oh, it's got a nice cooldown, too. It's already ready. Alright. Beam you, buddy. Alrighty, well that's the channeled on the curse. Okay, I think that's it, right? Yeah. Okay. Next one, Arcane. This one's considered a support, as far as I recall. Okay, let's see what it does. Energy Bolt deals magic damage to a single enemy. The less energy the enemy has, the higher the damage. Minimum damage 175, max is 2. Okay, so that's a single target does damage. That one we don't have access to yet. 2. Puts a shield on an enemy. The target's wearing plate armor. Target's threat generation's doubled. Okay, that's handy. Frazzle deals 186 magical damage. Increases the enemy's damage taken by 28% for 5 seconds. Okay. Energy Beam. Forbidden arcane magic, which drains energy of a target. When cast on enemy, drains 9 energy from the enemy. You restore 18. Okay. When cast on an ally, you lose 9 energy. Okay, so this is an energy thing. Alright. Arcane Orb shoots a sphere out in the target direction. Hey, who's attacking me? Stop that. Trying to read, damn it. Okay. Shoots a sphere in the targeted direction, which detonates on enemy impact in a 6-meter radius, deals 131 magic damage, removes all positive status effects, and silences. Okay, so it does silence. Alright. Oh, that's exciting. How did they come off there? Okay. Alright, we gotta find somebody to silence. Ooh, here we go. Alright. Silence this dude. Oh, nice. Well, I mean, he does the ice block, so that didn't really help that much. Okay, so the frazzle increases how much damage he takes, right? Increases the enemy damage taken. Okay. Okay, so Arcane's a little complicated, but that's alright. It's handy. Okay, so I left the Holy Staff for last. One of my personal favorites. For a healing staff. Okay. Does flash heal, which is a single target heal. There's also generous heal on the later ones, on the T4 and up. It has a holy blessing, which increases the amount of heals taken by a target. There's also a holy beam available later. Smite is its damage on the W, and Desperate Prayer does single target damage depending on how much damage they already have. If the target's health has been reduced to less than 30%, then it's healed for more. Alright, so you got a Q and E heal, and damage can be on the W. So we'll do that. Smite's pretty effective. You get the specialties up a little bit higher. It's pretty effective. See? Yeah, Smite is no joke on a Holy Staff. And if we get in trouble and start taking damage, we've got our own heals with us. So I can just hit... Remember how I had it set up before? I just hit 1 and heal myself. Let's go find someone that actually does some damage. Let's go over here and go in the dungeon. So let's get some stuff to start damaging us. We'll see how these heals hold out. See, it's not too bad. So we just take damage all day and just keep healing ourselves. And this Desperate Prayer, it's got a pretty high cooldown, but let's see, if I've been reduced to 30% or less, then it does a lot more heals. Alright, let's try that. It's not as impressive as I'd like it to be, but I can just keep spamming Flash Heal. I'll heal myself back up. I'm going to start taking care of some of these guys. Heal myself back up. Yeah, so don't let the healing staves fool you. They can pump out some damage, they can help you take damage too. Alright, I think that's pretty much the rundown. Things get a lot more interesting when you start hitting tier 4, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, let's go check the Destiny board and look at some of the weapons we've been using. Let me just give you a couple examples of what I was talking about at T4. Everything changes. Okay, so this is the Fire Staff line, Pyromancer. Okay, this is the T4 level. When we get more fame into Pyromancer and hit level 1, okay, we only had 18 fame. We only killed a couple things with the Fire Staff, I believe. That generated fame anyway. When we get to level 1, we have access to these. And then you acquire skills, and you can use the higher level ones. But they all do pretty much the same thing. Some of the spells are added at tier 6. For example, like this is the T4 Fire Staff. Okay, has many of the same spells as the T3 that we used. Also adds Fire Wave. At tier 5, you get the Fireball. Well, Fireball's on the tier 5. You don't get Fireball until later, here at level 40. On the T6, you added an ability down here, Furious, that you get access to later. So we can look at the T6 and see most of them. Alright. So this is pretty much the T3 variant in a tier 6. Okay, pretty much the same spells. Got the Wildfire. That is a artifact. Okay, there's a thing you gotta put with it. Wildfire Orb, you can pick that up in dungeons or make it from runes that you pick up in dungeons. The difference is there's is the E on all of them. The difference is the E. And this is a magma sphere. Shoots out a lava ball. A lot of people call it the meatball. So it goes in a straight line, does damage to things along the way. Great Fire Staff has a flame pillar. It's kind of like the frost bomb on the fire staff or on the frost staff, where it puts something on the ground and then it shoots up flame and does damage to things that are there. Brimstone Staff is a meteor. It shoots a meteor out of the sky and does AoE damage. Infernal Staff does a contagious fire. Like it'll light one thing on fire, and everything that thing touches will catch on fire too. And Blazing Staff does the tornado, the massive tornado. So point being is all the weapons pretty much do the same thing with specialties on the E. Some of the stats are different. Like the auto attack magical damage on the Blazing Staff is 46, while on the single-handed Fire Staff it's 40. Wildfire is 41. So some of the stats are slightly different, but the major difference is on the E of all of them. Let's see, another good example I'm familiar with is the Nature Staff. Okay, Nature Staff, Circle of Life is the same thing as on the T3 variant. Druid Staff, all of these are the same, except for Spirit Seed. Spiritual Seed, cast on an ally after 30 seconds. The ally will be healed for 360. Great Nature has Living Armor, which will heal you or an ally as they take damage. Okay, so the E's change. And that's about it. Okay? So the point of this is to go through each one and show you roughly what it does so you can tailor your playstyle. Tailor what you want your build to do. And there's nothing saying, there's nothing saying you can't mix up plate, cloth, leather, head, foot, or chest. You know, mix and match, figure out what works for you, and stick with that. Stick with it and fame it up, get more experience in it, kill more things in it, and you'll get better. Your specialties will go up. Other people have talked about specializations and your item power and things like that, and so I won't go into that in this video. Point of all this was to get you to get all those things, to get all these weapons and use them and try them out and see what works for you, see what feels better, and that will make your experience a bit better in Albion. Because one of the frustrations is getting something and saying, God, I don't like this, but you know, somebody recommended blah 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 build. Do it for yourself. Take some advice from folks that have done it before, but you're the one that's going to be running it, so you need to know what it does. And with that, I'm going to leave off. If you like the content I'm putting out, if you like the videos I'm doing, subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be putting out some more here in the next few weeks. I'm kind of slow to put them out here and there, just because we've got things going on with the guild. If you're looking for a guild, if you're new, starting out, if you've been around for a while, and want some help getting started out, or want to come join us in the Black Zones, check out KDS, kdsguild.org for an application, and we'd love to have you. So you guys have a good night. Be safe out there.